Okay, this is close guard to armbar. Okay, so the whole premises of jiu-jitsu is for a smaller person to be able to deal with a larger person, and obviously I'm much bigger, and so when we are doing jiu-jitsu, he has to find a way to be able to take me to the ground, and sometimes throws are not there, especially, that's why you have weight classes. And if we're both first in throws, I have a huge advantage just on size and strength. So sometimes guard pulling is a good option. Some people try to vilify it and questioning stuff, but if guard pulling was terrible, people wouldn't do it. So there's a reason why people pull guard, especially against someone who's much bigger. But he has to do it in a way that's safe for him and doesn't get his guard passed quickly. And a lot of people sometimes, especially when they're up against an experienced guard passer who knows to keep everything tight, keep his posture throughout the guard pull, you may end up in a bad situation and you get your guard passed anyway and you're going to see it doesn't work. He has to create conditions to where it's favorable and he has the proper angle to pull the guard. So right off the bat, he wants to establish a better angle by being his foot on the outside of mine. That brings his closest lapel forward and makes it easier for me to grab it. And most people will just reach over and grab the lapel. When he does that, he's going to do a mirror movement and he's going to grab right underneath my sleeve, but closest he can to my armpit. He's going to then reach over and grab his my lapel on the opposite side, and now he has kind of a good control to where he can tilt me up my shoulders, but he doesn't have control of my hips. So to get control of my hips and get me moving in a direction, he's going to use gravity. By pivoting and taking a big step back, he's going to pull me forward. I just have to go because it's his weight at the end of the lever pulling me. As I start to come back down off my toes, because the pull needs to be strong enough to where I end up here off balance. And when I'm regaining my balance, he's going to pivot again. Now we're straight, square in front of each other. That is when the foot comes up on the arm side that's pulling the lapel, and he's falling at an angle, never straight back, always at an angle. This leg can also be used as a counter lever by pushing away and then pulling me toward him. Sometimes you're lucky and they land with their hand on the mat over here. That's immediately Kimura. All you have to do is turn and that's an immediate attack. But most people who are versed in jiu-jitsu will try to immediately gain control of that hip right here and try to keep you from moving. Because he's in this position now, extending his left leg and pointing his knee toward my torso is going to slide his hips out. Now, because he has this angle, my knee is very close to his arm. He reaches under, and that gives him the lever to attack my arm, because now he can pull his legs up into a high close guard, and then from there he can just pivot his knees, go back a step. If he's having trouble making that corner, pointing his knees at my spine will increase the angle. Now it's no big deal to throw his legs over. A lot of people try to push you away, but if I'm much bigger and stronger, it won't work. In fact, as I start to push into him, I give him the lever to do a back roll. And he extends his hips and he's going backwards. And that's where the arm break happens. Again, there's a lot of moving parts here and a lot of fundamental principles being employed that you need to have a thorough understanding of to make this successful. It's not, let me show you a trick and then you can do this on on everybody because you know a trick. That's not good jiu-jitsu. Good jiu-jitsu is understanding the fundamental principles that work and then employing them in your favor. So he lines up outside my foot automatically. If I understand anything about fighting, I know that he's got an easy path to my back. If I do nothing here and he steps forward, he's already circling around to my back. I can't allow that. So I have a choice. And when you're wearing a gi, the most common choice is to reach out and grab that lapel so that I can have a say in what direction he goes. But because he's already prepared that he has limited my options because the other lapel is too far away and will expose me, or I'll have to break posture, or I'll have to get closer where I'm now susceptible to many other things. This is the safest thing for me to do. He's going to counter my move by reaching and stepping in. He is now in a good position to basically set up anything, throws, guard pulls, whatever he wants, because he's already in a better position, just simply because he started in a better position. It's a very important concept. Never start off behind, because against someone who's really good, they'll never let you catch up. So now when I start to counter grip, whatever grip, it doesn't matter because he's not interested in throwing me today. He's interested in pulling guard and attacking my arm. So now as he has the guard right here and he's ready to pull, he's going to pivot and throw his weight back. That pulls me forward. See how my posture is broken? And now as I try to straighten out, he's going to pull me back and now we're square. His lead leg is now closest to my hip. And so now he just raises it up, puts it in, and falls at an angle here. If I don't fall and my arm is stretched, he can actually has an arm bar attack here. He can just pull it and start attacking the arm bar. But that's not what we're showing here today. So here, the only thing that will help me to get out of this is either drop to my knees, try to square up, or try to posture up. I can't posture up because he's got my collar. If I try to posture up, it's nothing for him to pull me in because he's going to use that other leg as a counterbalance. By throwing it out that way, he's going to pull me in and we're going to fall into this position. Once the guard is closed, now he's looking to, I'm looking to posture. So he's going to take advantage of the fact that my head is down low, and while I'm doing that, he's going to start rotating his knees and shooting the underhook. He's going to jump up to a high close guard. As he closes, he really doesn't have the angle yet, but watch what happens when he rotates his knee toward my ear. It pushes his hip out, and now the angle is very much doable. Let's show it from this angle real quick. So, at this angle right here, go to the high guard. He's here. He doesn't have an angle right here. Notice how his hips are off the mat. It's really hard to do it with your butt flat on the mat. It's too much friction on the ground. But as his hips are up off the mat, pointing his knees at my ear allows his hips to go further out. And now, throwing the leg is no big deal. Now, as I start to push into him, which is the correct defense, it doesn't matter because there's the arm bar. Play with this. Let us know what you think. And again, be safe out there.